Good morning, students. Previous class we are discussed about types of chemical reactions, oxidation, reduction and redox reactions. Now, today we are discussing another type of reactions. These reactions are belongs to oxidation reactions. There are corrosion, rancidity and combustion reactions. Which type of reactions are called corrosion reactions? Any metal can react with oxygen present of moisture and form its oxides as a layer. Such type of reactions are called corrosion reactions. Corrosion reaction is a good example for oxidation reaction. Corrosion process can make lot of damage to iron appliances. Generally, rusting of iron, the black coating on silver, the green coating on copper, these are good example for corrosion process. Which type of methods we are used to prevention of corrosion problem? Generally, we are used some simple technique to prevention of corrosion problem. Painting, oiling, greasing, these are general methods. But we are used some chemical methods also, especially galvanizing process, chrome plating process, making of alloy and anodizing process also used to prevention of corrosion problem. Galvanizing. If zinc is coated as a layer, such type of process is called galvanizing. Alloy. Two or more metals or non-metals combined each other, we are making one new substance, such are called alloy. Anodizing process. Aluminum oxide is coated as a layer. Such type of process is called anodizing process. These chemical process are we are used and we are control the corrosion problem. Rancidity problem. In our daily life we are faced with rancidity problem. But which is called rancidity? Simple. The spoiling of food is called rancidity. Rancidity is a good example for oxidation process. Rancidity problem can be prevented with the using of vitamin C and vitamin E. Now we are observing in market the chips packets are availability are there. The chips packets we can observe they are stored with the using of one type of gas. The gas is nitrogen gas. Using of nitrogen gas, they can prevent the rancidity problem. The chips packets will be stored under long period of time. Combustion reaction. The oxygen gas react with any material and release the carbon dioxide gas and heat energy. Such type of reactions are called combustion reaction. Simple example. Carbon react with oxygen and form carbon dioxide and also heat. Magnesium react with oxygen and form magnesium oxide and heat. These are good example for combustion reactions. Here all combustion reactions are belongs to oxidation reactions, but all oxidation reactions are not combustion reactions. Balanced chemical equations. If any chemical reaction can be expressed with using of its symbols and formulas is called chemical equation. If written chemical equation is a balanced or not, how can we are identified? We can use some simple tricks or steps to identification of balanced chemical equation. Generally, balanced chemical equation we are written with using of trial and error method. They are used some steps are there. First step, if the chemical reaction can be expressed with its symbols and formulas, that is step 1. Step 2, when balancing the equation with using of trial and error method. Step 3, converted the coefficients are into simple whole number ratio. And last step, we can prove the reactants and product side have equal number of atoms or molecules. Therefore, LHS and RHS are equal. These four steps we are used and we can make the any equation as a balanced chemical equation. If the without balanced equation, simply we are saying as a skeleton equation. It means using of trial and error method, skeleton equation is changed into balanced chemical equations. Now I will explain one balanced chemical equation. Sodium hydroxide react with sulfuric acid and form sodium sulfate and water. This is the given chemical equation. Now we are make a balanced chemical equation. First to step 1. Already we are learned. Step 1 point of view. The chemical reaction can be expressed with using of its symbols and formulas. This is the step 1. Sodium hydroxide NaOH plus sulfuric acid H2SO4 gives rise to sodium sulfate Na2SO4 plus water H2O. That is the step 1. Now step 2. We must be observe the reactants and products both have equal number of atoms are present or not. Element LHS side RHS. Element sodium hydroxide, here sodium is one element, oxygen another element, hydrogen another element. Sulfuric acid, here also hydrogen, oxygen is common element, but sulfur is extra element, therefore sulfur also we are mentioned. LHS side, sodium hydroxide, one atom of sodium, just to keep the one letter. Oxygen, sodium hydroxide, one atom, sulfuric acid, 4 atoms, total is 5 atoms. Hydrogen, sodium hydroxide, 1, and sulfuric acid, 2 hydrogen atom, total is 3 atoms. And in sulfuric acid, sulfur has 1 atom. These are total number of atoms of elements in LHS side. Now we are observe the product side. It means RHS side. Sodium sulfate. In sodium sulfate, 2 atoms of sodium, 1 atom of sulfur. Okay. And next to oxygen is 4 atoms. Here water, we are observing 1 atom of oxygen. Total is 5 atoms. And hydrogens are 2 atoms. Then we are observing in this table, LHS and RHS are not equal. Therefore, we are first to mention the skeleton equation. Now, we are used trial and error method. The skeleton equation change into balanced chemical equation. First observe it. Sodium hydroxide we are mentioned. Here product side Na2SO4. Here 2 atoms of sodium is present. Now, when we are observe the reactant side, we are kept to Na2OH. But Na2OH is no formula. Therefore, 2 is we are written as a coefficient 2 NaOH. Now 2 atoms of sodium, product side also 2 atoms of sodium are correct, clear. And next one, oxygen here, coefficient is 2 there, automatically 2 atoms of oxygen in NaOH and 4 atoms of oxygen in sulfuric acid. Total is 6 atoms of oxygen is present. But in product side we can observe 4 atoms of oxygen in sodium sulfate. In water is 1 oxygen there. Total 5 atoms are there. Not equal. Therefore, they must be changed into 6 atoms of oxygen. Now we are keeping H2O2. But H2O2 is not a formula of water. It is a hydrogen peroxide. That's why we are 2 is keeping as a coefficient of H2O. Now here Na2SO4, 4 atoms of oxygen. In water 2 is coefficient there. Therefore oxygen also 2 atoms. Total is 6 atoms. Now next we are observing the hydrogens. In NaOH, 2 is kept as a coefficient. Therefore, 2 atoms of hydrogens here, and H2SO4, 2 atoms of hydrogens are present. Total is 4 atoms. Then here product side we can observe 2 is coefficient of water. Therefore, 2 into 2, 4 atoms of hydrogen. Now we can observe 2 sodium atoms and 6 oxygen atoms and 4 hydrogen atoms. Both sides are equal. Automatically sulfur is both sides is only one atom. Now it is a balanced chemical equation. In step 3 we can observe, if the coefficients are, we can observe there is a chance to convert into simple whole number ratio. That time only we are doing that method. Otherwise, we are directly written as a same equation. LHS and RHS side, both sides have equal number of atoms are present. That's why this is called balanced chemical equations.